Hi guys, I'm back playing Disney Sorcerer's Arena again. Some of you might think a bit pathetic, couldn't stick to his plan. Did a big emotional video really about why I was quitting. And to be honest, I'm going to address those points really because a lot of them I have been able to address in the time off. I didn't really expect to be playing the game again. There's a couple of reasons why I am. One is, my mental health is better. It's not, it can always be better. It's not 100%, but it's certainly getting there to the point where I'm not getting sucked into things as easy, and I'm a bit more outgoing and stuff. So then in terms of spending was a big reason why I quit. I've actually been able to basically go VIP only, which is pretty good for me. I tried free to play for like the first day or two, couldn't do it. I just can't play the game on 2x or 1x. It's not for me. And then completing like towers, there's a lot of stuff I like to just auto, kind of against the spirit of the game. But for me, it's just for those things, it's about collecting rewards. So I want a quick and easy way of doing it. I find more enjoyment in other things. I'm still working on my time management. I'd say that there's days when since I've started playing again, I've been playing probably about a week and a half, maybe a bit longer than 2 weeks now, maybe. And my time management can be a bit brutal at times. Like there's days where I can sit in PvP and just kind of blast it all day and then get really annoyed at the day and find myself being awful in PvP to people. So someone sends me one bad emote and that sets me off. So and then there's other days where I'm just like, you know what, I'm not going to play. So working on the time management, need to get better at that. And ultimately, there's still aspects of the game I missed. There's things I enjoy to do in the game. There's certain updates that I thought, before I quit, I knew the Conquest update was going to happen, but I didn't really want to stick it around. I'm going to talk about what I think about Conquest shortly, but to be honest, there's going to be lots to unpack in this video. Really, I wanted to give you a kind of deep dive into where my head is at, the state of the game, in my opinion, because ultimately that's what I'm here for. What my YouTube is here for is one, to express my opinions and potentially share thoughts with others, carry across my sentiment as well as other people in my club, and the cluster, to get that out there. And then mainly it's to help people. I'm very excited. I've actually recorded footage for another video where it's going to be a raid video, which I'll release shortly after this one, probably next day or two. I've got the footage, I just need to do commentary on it. So there's definitely aspects of the game I still enjoy, and that's ultimately why I'm back playing. I didn't really last very long, and it kind of I can see what it looks like on the surface. Like it almost feels a little bit embarrassing to have done the video, such an emotional video at the time. But I needed to do it, and I did need to take the break, and I wasn't sure I was going to come back. I will say that I stayed in Discord of my Club and Costa. I took myself out of so many Discords. I'm actually only in 2 now. One is the Gen Chat, which, to be honest, probably shouldn't really be there because it certainly contributes to me coming across badly at times, and then also just I feel like I get sucked into drama that I shouldn't be, or reading up on stuff, and then perhaps coming across poorly and over opinionated about things which I wanted to avoid really. But at the same time, I do enjoy engaging with the community. So that's one I'm not sure whether I should be there or not, but I've joined that server anyway. So my club lost like 2 players, and I was in Discord and at the time, in some of the channels, and said I would pop back into the game to kind of help, just help for the time being, and see if I could maybe enjoy the game as free to play. I didn't think, or VIP only. I really didn't think I was going to be able to do it based on previous habits, but I was able to do it. So here I am. So anyway, lots to unpack. I do want to say first and foremost, thank you for sticking around. I was really surprised the amount of people that didn't unsubscribe. I was expecting hundreds, really. I don't have a big following anyway, but I certainly thought me saying I'm quitting and not potentially going into other games was going to lose me a lot of followers. But you guys stuck around, so I didn't lose that many, and I got lots of nice messages on that video, which made me feel great about what I've been doing. So thank you. I did also mention that I am outspoken and opinionated. I often think I like to think I'm giving constructive criticism. Certain people might not see it that way. And I'm going to continue to not be a yes man, I'd say. I'm going to give you my opinions as organic and as real as they are, really. If I don't like something, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. It's like out of the game, in terms of the game. I'm not just going to tell you I don't like you. But yeah, I know I can go a little bit OTT, so I do apologise for those moments where I do come across a bit strongly. But anyway, lots to unpack. Going to get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's talk about the game. So something that I left before was released was Expeditions. So when I rejoined the game, first thing I did was actually jump into Expeditions and do a couple of battles. Now, for me, it's a bit boring. There's not much challenge. The boss battles are fun, but when you can just sugar rush them and loop them, there's not really much to them. I do think the battles need to be a bit tougher. Maybe a little bit more like how Ascension was. I might get grilled for that, but at least on the floor that we're doing, it feels a little bit easy. The rewards, though, oh my god, are amazing. So this has actually been one of the big reasons for me being able to be VIP only, is that the rewards are so good. Like you get these pass holder chests now. You get tokens. You even get some spell tokens, and then the deltas. Like previously, it was just some of the showdown and leaderboards, but this is actually giving deltas to the wider community now. Especially like those guys that can't actually, that don't compete in the leaderboards or don't compete in some of the showdowns. I've certainly taken my foot off the gas in some of the showdown now. Don't feel, obviously going VIP only, I'm not spending anyway, but it's so nice to be able to get deltas another way. So Expeditions gets a thumbs up from me. Conquest changes. Now this is another thing that I left before they changed. So this is a difficult one, because this, I've said this many times before, this is one of my favourite game modes, purely from a selfish, I want to test myself, my roster point of view. I don't really care much about the club result. It's too imbalanced to get a fair matchmaking. So they changed the matchmaking. We were paired with Kumandra. I'm back at Endgame, by the way. Endgame were paired with Kumandra for a long time. Kumandra didn't like Conquest. Now we are getting matched with other clubs. Our first Conquest was matched with Disneyland Forever, which are stronger than us. They beat us, but I actually really enjoyed it. We had a good showing. Still participation levels weren't the best, but it was the first proper showdown, first proper conquest we had in literally in months. So it was nice, even if we got beat. After that, though, we've been matched with a few other clubs that are significantly weaker than us. The problem with fighting clubs like that is they don't play, you know. And I don't blame them. Two of the clubs have been kind enough to set defences for us. One of them didn't, and that really, really, really annoyed me. I'm not gonna name names, but that just, to me, that shows how broken the game mode still is. That one, you have this unfair competition now, which, to be honest, you can never make fair in the current game mode. And then two, you have a club that doesn't want to play, that doesn't set defences, but then attacked. And I know they didn't. If you looked at our board, they didn't attack much, but they gave nothing for us to play with, and that's a bigger problem for me. Is that now we're going to get so many no-shows, and for the clubs that don't want to play, that want to take an easy week off, them not setting means we've got nothing to do, and I want to play it, you know. I like testing my roster. This is the thing that I like about it. I like actually trying to find ways to beat certain teams with the limited roster I have available. Not everyone likes to do that, but for me, I just want something to attack. And this brings me to a point about Conquest. There needs to be an auto defense button, you know, that literally will defense all your top teams from the back row up. If you don't want to play, because then, yeah, it might screw you around and place like a Big Hero 6 team in the Oceanic Tower, for example. But that's the price you pay for not playing. Or just, to be honest, like that would be a band-aid solution for the clubs that want to play. The game mode needs an overhaul. It's currently like King of the Hill, right? You take ownership of bases to. It's like, you know, you capture a point to keep it, and then the other club like fights back. This just doesn't work because it's very time consuming. It's always been time consuming. The game mode needs to be static. And what I mean by static is, like, rather than having, how many towers are there? There's, I don't know, 13, 14 towers or something. Rather than having like 5 teams in each and then have to refill them once you recapture them, why don't we just have a game mode which has like 20 teams per tower? And then once you've captured it, you have to beat the front row to progress to the next row, and then it becomes about efficient winning rather than capture and hold, because the current way is taking a lot of time from people because they have to be on at a certain time. Now, we don't enforce certain rules like that anymore because, quite frankly, it's not competitive enough. And I don't want to enforce rules to make my club mates play at a certain time for multiple hours of the day. It just seems a bit ridiculous. And the towers are the same. Like, we still have like these boring, you know, same towers. Really, I know it'll take a lot to change them, but we've got to have something interesting with that game mode. Or they just make it like a showdown where you bolster up everyone's teams to a certain level, and then you really get to test like the theory crafting and, you know, the brains of the operation in your club. Really. Okay, so that's Conquest. Bug fixes. So I just want to say well done, Glue, to these. Like, you can tell that, you know, Glue is a small team because they focus on certain things, and what they focused on really was getting new content out. Now there's probably not new content for a while, so they're focused on bug fixes, which is great. Now, like, you know, the Elsa stasis thing is amazing. there's loads of other bugs they fixed, and I just want to say, hats off, well done, big thank you. There are annoying ones that come out, like the Beast Roses, for example. Oh, I don't even know if that's a bug fix, and obviously, like, no longer can take advantage of Triton, but to be honest, like, if you're going to fix the bad ones, you have to fix the good ones. So I have no issues with what they've done there, and it's very welcome and good job for fixing them. Just wish that some of the new ones wouldn't come out of the old ones being fixed, basically. Graphics update. So when I launched the game for the first time, like, it was really, really slow. I don't know if it's my phone that can't, like, manage to deal with this. Like, it that opening screen used to be so smooth, and now it's all jaded, and it's like, you know, when you need a PC upgrade to match the new games that come out. It's like I'm working on an old PC, because it's the same on my both my phone and then BlueStacks. That it just can't handle it. It's really, and it's not smooth. The gameplay kind of, to be honest, I don't like it. I like the old graphics as well. I didn't really think a graphics overhaul was required. To be honest, I thought there were bigger things that needed looking at. So it's kind of given me a worse experience now. Just because, like, everything is laggy. You'll see some of my footage, I think, really, when I release this next video, isn't as good as it was before. Okay, how are we doing? 17 minutes. This is going on. All right, game, only a couple left. Game balance. I've been very vocal about this since I come back. T9 ability upgrades have, in my opinion, kind of ruined the game balance. This 50% damage boost is now one-shotting teams. I've changed my name to Nerf Milo in Gen Chat just to... I mean, he's such a dumb character, like, to be honest. Like, anyone that... You have to be able to see that is silly. You know, like, that is not a game can't have a character that literally gets offense up and wipes your team out. It's so stupid. Like, Big Hero 6 are the fastest team in the game with the T9 upgrades, and Milo is tech. He's literally pass him scan him with Hero, and then it's game over. Oh yeah, but you can use Mal. Oh well, just run Tiana, and eventually when you unlock Luce, pass the scan Zeus, and then give the pass whatever Zeus does. So I play with him a lot, but still don't know his kit. And then pass him the buff pass his random buffs to Milo, and you know you can still win. There's a team that can literally just eliminate. And hardly ever lose. Like, the only really way you can combat that team is what I've been doing, is by running, like, Elsa, running Maleficent, running Ralph, so they get procced immediately. And I run Zeus now, because Zeus starts with Invulnerable, so or Mickey as well. Disneyland Forever just pops off. The game balance is so out of sorts that, you know, you need more health and defense on characters, right? For the next T10 upgrade, you can't have characters one-shotting teams. Elsa, Hades just popping off, just blowing up teams. Just seems silly. Even in some of the showdowns using, like, Jesse and Bo Peep, both their AoEs would kill the front row if I was able to go first. It makes no sense to me. Stones as well, need to sort stones out, make defense viable. Even, like, in Summer Showdown, speed is the only stone that you should really be using. Now, I'm too lazy to change my stones, so often I will lose battles because I just can't be bothered. This brings me on to Summer Showdown, actually. What I've said about Milo, the current Summer Showdown, Milo is ruining it. everyone just runs speedstones because ultimately it becomes a coin flip, whoever can go first. But I will say this, I'm enjoying Summer Showdown a lot more now because I just view it for what it is now. And to me, I just try to get my individual milestones. So I literally don't care about the global leaderboard anymore. I don't even care about my contest leaderboard. I don't care where I finish. I just want to get the milestones. Because now I can view it as something I don't need to be competitive with. Obviously, I need to win the battles, but I'm looking at it as a way of gathering rewards, really. And I'm not prepared to spend money to get the deltas. We get them deltas in expeditions. I've gone free to play, VIP only. You know, no reason to spend on it, so I've got more appreciation for it. Next one, Kidder tokens. Now, I've been very vocal today and yesterday about how I feel about certain clubs who have had their tokens revoked. Now, basically what happened is there's a forfeit button in expeditions. You can forfeit and you earn points to your team. Now, clubs were effectively doing many forfeits when you couldn't achieve the milestones that should have been achievable in order to achieve them. But it cost gems, right? You had to spend money to do it. You know, it wasn't free, and it was within the laws and bounds of the game. Don't care about morals. Like, there's a lot of people saying, well, it's an exploit. It's not an exploit. Stop saying it's an exploit. If they created the game mode like that, and it's been like that forever, like, you had to, like, literally had to code something to give forfeits points. Like, they made that decision to do that just because you could actually max on the achievable, you know, on the milestones that should have been achievable at the time. Like, to me, it just doesn't make sense to then go back on that decision. Well, not go back on that decision, to then take a look at it and think it's unfair. Now, certain clubs complained to Disney support to get themselves tokens, but in reality, like, they didn't do what they needed to do to get them. You still had to make those forfeits to get those tokens. Like, Endgame wasn't doing this. Like, you know, it's just, and this is all in the name of being the first to unlock. Who gives a crap? Seriously? Like, I feel very sorry for the clubs that had their kidder tokens taken away. Yes, they got the deltas. That's amazing still, but, you know, they still spent crystals, which they didn't, gems which they didn't need to. I hope they get compensated for the gems they spent. That's what I'd say. And this, to me, this is a little bit different to, like, character nerfs. Like, you know, if they nerf Milo, do we need to compensate on the upgrades you've made to Milo? No, because in my opinion, you've got to recognize the character kit is unstable and imbalanced. Like, it should never have been like that. Now, I hope they don't nerf it into the ground to the point that they would have to make compensation, because if you effectively make him useless, then I'd sit there going, well, actually, okay, you've now made a character unusable, and a lot of people have spent money on him. I think there definitely needs to be a fine line with all of this. But no, I'm not happy with, on behalf of those clubs, that this has happened, and it just feels a bit salty that that now these clubs have been penalised because of a clever technique on and the other thing about this, I was going to say, these forfeits are useful. Like, you get to towers 4 and 5 and there's nothing to hit because it's all adventurers. I have one adventurer team and then I have to put Barley on the other team, so I'm sitting with 4 characters I can't use to have 2 attempts a day at adventurer towers. Like, I'm sitting on all this energy, so we leave a tower open just to hit and forfeit, just to get us the extra points, just to even feel like we're contributing. There's just, so for me, the actual forfeit button is useful. But anyway, this is a long video. I do apologise, but here we go. Lastly, the game player base does feel like it's shrinking still. Very difficult to recruit. Part of the reason, as I said, why I came back to just fill a gap for the time being. But I'm probably gonna stick around a little bit longer until something terrible happens. But anyway, I hope you bared with me. There's a lot that I've had to say. As I said, I want to be outspoken, but I also want to be useful and helpful. That's the main thing, really. So yeah. Oh, leaderboards, love them still. Wish we had a couple new ones with different factions, you know. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up the video there. I don't think there's anything else for me to say. Please like and subscribe. I am still sticking around. I'm going to be looking at other games. That hasn't changed. I just haven't found anything really. Or got a setup to really start streaming yet. But yeah. No, thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned. I've got a raid video coming out very soon. Thank you, guys.